Gnocchi. I have the experience that everybody loves gnocchi, but especially the making of it. It's a great food to make with the kids. And yes, you can make the potato gnocchis, but this is an even quicker version with ricotta. So I have here a nice large curd ricotta. If it's watery, take it out the night before, put it in a strainer and let it drain the water out. And then we'll begin our gnocchi. So grated cheese, plenty of grated cheese. Flour will bind it all together. I'll put it like this. I'll leave just a little bit on the side in case I need it. Some eggs. Let me just mix that. Just let me whisk the eggs a little bit and get those in there. Parsley. Pepper, white pepper. You know, you can put regular pepper, but white pepper sort of disappears in there. Salt. The cheese is in there, it's salty, so keep in mind. Let's get all of this mixed together. Beginning in the bowl keeps it kind of neater, though I think it could use all of the flour. Let's get in there and make it happen. So I'm turning it around. I am putting it all together, just like that. And I'm gonna spill it out right on the counter. Put some flour, and let's just and now you treat it like a dough. And you know, I always tell you, whenever we're making gnocchi together, and we've made gnocchi before, it's a dough that you don't want to overwork too much, because the more you work it, the more flour it will take in, and flour makes it heavier. So just let's get it all incorporated. Okay, and yes, it's just a little sticky, and that's okay. Let's put some flour. Let's set it aside. Whenever you're kneading anything and it sticks to you, take a little bit of flour, and what you do is you just kind of rub everything off, you see? And voila, your hands are somewhat clean, but ready to go back into the dough. Cut a piece of the dough, some more flour, and let's roll it into a cordoon-like. And as you're rolling it, you're kind of pushing it outside, and then you cut it in little gnocchis, just like that. And this is a family affair, absolutely. Get everybody here. Okay, the next thing is to really roll each one into a round little ball like that. Although I sometimes do it like that just to make things speed up, especially at the restaurant. You kind of roll them all together, and they're not perfectly round, but they have a roundness to them. And from here, a fork. So you take it like that, you put your thumb, and you pressure it down, but in pressuring it down, you also roll it off the fork, and then you give it a little help again. You pressure it down, and then you roll it off the fork. You see here this little dumpling in there. You want that in a gnocco because that's where the sauce will lodge. And so you can see that some could be rolling and cutting, others could be actually shaping the gnocco, and so on. Dinner will be made, and the whole family will be part of this. You put them on a floured sheet pan. I'll roll a few more until I get to the end of this. And then we'll start our sage and butter sauce, and we'll be ready to eat. As you can see, the recipe makes quite a bit. So if you have the whole gang over, by all means, cook it in 2 batches. Otherwise, you can put it in the freezer just as is. When it's frozen, you scoop them up and put them in a plastic bag and return them to the freezer for use whenever you want to. This is enough for us for today. What you need to cook gnocchi properly is really abundant salted water, because there's a lot of flour here, and you need it to cook vigorously. Gonna just shake a little bit off the excess flour. This is a good practice with all the homemade pasta, where you need the flour to keep it from sticking while it's waiting to be cooked. But then you want to cook it, you don't want all that flour. So let's shake it off, and let's put the gnocchis back in. Let's give it a gentle mix. The gnocchi need maybe about 5-6 minutes. When they come up and they start rolling, they're done. In the meantime, we can make this sage sauce, which is a cinch to make. Good butter. And you don't want the butter to clarify, so you want that kind of creamy butteriness taste. Take some of the pasta water and put it right in there with the butter, and this will make your sauce. You add some sage leaves right in there, and sage and cheese gnocchi go really, really good together. Sage is really pronounced, so that's enough. Let it release its flavors. And this is the sauce. This is a great sauce for pasta, for whatever. When you're out of ideas or out of time, then make a sauce like that. Although gnocchis are great with tomato sauce. We used to make a lot of gnocchis on Sunday. Sunday was the big day that everybody got around the table. And Grandma would usually, it was either a rabbit or a chicken. With the chicken, she would make soup with the bones and the necks and the wings and everything. That made a great soup. And then she would take the rest of the chicken, make a guazzetto, a sauce. And gnocchi with the sauce from the chicken, for that matter, or from the rabbit, was really great. Even the ricotta that I used to make this gnocchi, we used to have goat, and she would make the ricotta out of the goat's milk. So, I mean, it was, it was self-production all the way. I learned a lot about the beauty of food and how to ultimately really respect it in cooking. Just let it shine, because if you have a good product, the chef, all he needs to do, or she, is just exalt it. So, the gnocchis are floating, and you can tell by the fluffiness of the gnocchi that they're done. And if you have any doubts, just pull one out and bite into it. I always tell you, taste, 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 taste. And so if you had the other batch you wanted to cook, you could have cooked it right now, and this would keep fine like this, waiting for the other batch. So I'm letting it cook a little bit all together. Shut it off, and I will add cheese to it now. You see chefs shaking this pan. Does it do anything? Yes, it does. You see how it emulsifies on the sides. I think what is happening is that you're incorporating air into the sauce and makes it kind of more velvety. So this is ready. You can remove the sage leaves. You can leave them in there. People see them. They don't have to eat them. Sage has a wonderful flavor, but if you eat it, it does become a little bit too strong in the mouth. But just like that. And then, for me, just like that. Put a little bit of cheese on there. And I'm going to dig in. You got to eat it while it's hot. Delizioso. Buonissimo. Super buonissimo. It really reminds me a lot of my childhood, because these are the kind of flavors and textures that caress you. Cheese, milkiness, the ricotta, the smoothness, the lightness of the gnocchi itself. So, worth making.